Hi everybody, I hope everything is alright on your hand and that you have, as always, a great start of the week. And thanks for joining this new episode of Juno Live. So in previous episode or last few weeks, we have built ICP-to-Cycle pseudos swap features, and for that features we used what is called the signer standard, which basically consists of being able from an application to open a wallet, and from that wallet being able to communicate with the application that started it. So there is like a communication between those two windows, and being able then to request something that needs to be granted in the wallet. And in that case, here we used an approve, and then when the approve was made, we implemented that swap, and then in the swap we exchanged ICP, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. So basically we focused on the client part last few weeks again, and this will already work out. I mean, we could ship the solution in production and we use OISY, and that's super. But since there is also kind of like some sort of learning feature in this series, and also because ultimately that's something I think that would be cool to add to Juno, I thought that now that we have implemented the client part, we can implement the other side, like implementing the signer part, and we can implement that in Juno. And my idea is that, here in our application here, I think it's cycles.watch, so let me zoom as always. Here we have connect a wallet, I think we call that, and here we have OISY. So my idea is that here we can add Juno. Here we're gonna add another icon, but that here we have also Juno. That would be kind of fun. So yeah, why not? So I'm gonna do it. Maybe I already have like an icon here, which is nice. So yes, this way it's gonna be even a bit more clear what we want to do. We have icon Juno here, so here we're gonna have icon Juno. Maybe not. Yes. So yeah, the idea is that here we have Juno. So here it would open a window and so on and so on, and here we would open OISY. So basically what we want to do is we want to implement the same features. The volume is a bit low. Alright, I'm gonna top it up. Let me know if it's better. Thanks for xingming in. So yeah, we're not gonna reinvent the wheel. I'm not gonna re-implement everything from scratch. We're gonna implement the same features as in Juno, means using the same library, because when Juno implemented the signer capabilities, we build that features in a library which can be reused by everyone. So even you, if you have a wallet, you can add the same function to your app. So let's check out this library, which is called the OISY Wallet Signer. I think I already spoke about it, and yeah, it has two parts. It has a client, but what's interesting us today is the usage in a wallet. And it's called a signer because that library receives a message and the user approves it or not, and when it approves it, it signs the message and it transmits it to the IC, right? Okay, and basically the signer has various steps. There is like an initialization, the disconnection, register some prompt, we're gonna see that, and approving, consent message, blah blah blah, till going to the call. And my idea is that we go through all this step, right? I hope it's a bit kind of clear. So if we have a look to what we just did here we have connect OISY, so we want to have a connect Juno button. So we're gonna add connect Juno, and here it's I'm in this application, so I want to register a client. So you see, like, each wallet has an URL. So for example, OISY use OISY.com and Juno is console.juno.build. So here we're just gonna work locally, and locally my Juno console work on 5173. So what I'm gonna do is here I'm gonna change the port. Okay, right, and the rest of the logic will be the same actually, because getting the permission and so on is standardized. So what we can do is here I will actually create a function connect that takes an URL as parameter. Let's do that. This way we can actually do await connect this, and for OISY we can do that. All right, so now if I go in the application here, you see we will have a 404 because that URL does not exist yet in this application. So what we should do is create a new route. Okay, so far so good? I hope so. So what we do is in Juno, in the front end of Juno, in the root, I have various templates, and so we're gonna take a standalone template and we're gonna call it sign. I think we can use the same pattern. This is not required in our case. We're gonna need a layout page, that's correct. So I will copy this one here. So what do we have? Children, a color. I can review at another day. And here I have a title and so on. So I can review that another day. And let's create a page. To do implement signer. So at this point here, now you see we have a page, right? And this comes from the layout, so I will change that for now, and we're gonna call it sign. All right, not too bad. So if we have a look at the let's have a look at the real implementation of OISY. If I go, for example, to Kong. And here I click connect. You see here you have a splash, right? Because you are not signing it. And here it's gonna be, it's where we currently stand. Okay? And yeah, so let's here connect. Juno Wallet. And Wallet. I think I have that. All right. So far, so good, I hope. Now we gonna need to implement a sign-in button, because of course if the user is not signing in, nothing should happen, and if the user is signing in, then we are agreed to use the wallet. So let's have a look here. So that's really particular to the code of the Juno console. We don't have those, so we're just gonna put a guard at the top. Right, and the guard here. Hoopla. Yes. And if we are not signing in, we're gonna ask the user to sign in. So here I just gonna copy what we have for signing in with the CLI, right? So oopla. Okay, so what does it says now? It says sign in to set up blah blah blah, so we need to change the sentence. So let's clone what they say here. What they say, oh, it's funny, there isn't like really a call to action to explain what we're gonna do. All right, so we're just gonna use this one for now. So access your Juno wallet. All right, so that's where we stand. And then if I click sign in here, I can sign in my wallet, and because I'm signing in, I don't have text. No, it's empty, right? All right, so let's continue. If we have a look here, you see we have a mission control guard. So I will take this one and put it here. So what does this do? That's again really particular to the Juno console. So, and here we have hello world, blah blah blah. So basically it's in Juno, you know, like your wallet is a smart contract, a canister, but it's also the one that orchestrates all your work. And this one, that mission control, is the same as the wallet. And every time you sign in, then Juno knows nothing else than just the match between your unique anonymous user ID and your mission control. So that guard just ensures that the pair has been done and that your mission control has been loaded. That's why here there is a guard for that. And once we have signed in, here we would be able to start doing stuff, basically. Right, so if we go back to the library, all right, so first to get started we have to install that, because we have set up the page now and we can start actually implementing those signer capabilities. So that's the Juno console, and here I gonna install that library. All right. what I'm gonna do next is the following. When I use OISY here, you see that I have the same mechanism where I should sign in and then stuff happen. So we're gonna see how that one is working out. Alright, so this one is here. I will zoom. Okay. Oh. Right. So you see we don't have those guard and so on, but the interesting part here is that we have a signer object, and the signer is either connected or disconnected, right? Or init or disconnected. And if we check out the documentation, we see that's the step one. Once the application is ready, what you have to do is to init the object with the owner, and the owner, oh, that's gonna be a fun one. The owner is the one that can approve message, okay? So basically it's the one that has signed in. So we're gonna take this on, and yes, and what we're gonna do is here, so that we do not start like a big mess, what I propose is that we create a new folder here in our components that we call, for example, signer, and let's create, instead of just having all the code at the root and so on, so on, and so on, I propose that we put that like in a loader or guard. How do we call that? Yeah, it's not important at this point, but let's call it guard. Why not? Does it do something if it's initialized or not? Not really, right? Okay, loader. So I create a component like signer loader, and in that component I will basically copy the same code and just have the children. So interface props, children snippet. That's a Svelte 5 stuff, right? So let props props, right? It's like that, I think. Huh? Here, import this one. Alright, and here we add a render to render the children that we pass to it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna declare that state. Okay. Actually, this one will be called signer. Let's call it just signer. And in this signer, we add the same effect, because I think I should use the same term. So I guess I have the contrary or not. Auth not signed in. So if we are not signed in, we force the signer to disconnect. If for some reason, I guess it's more a guard than anything else. If for some reason the my machine needs more RAM. I need to invest. Alright, if for some reason the identity is null, we disconnect too. And then, if everything is fine, we initialize, and here we can pass a property to, I think it's called, yeah, if we develop locally, we can pass a property with the local replica developer environment so that we don't hit mainnet, right? So I guess I probably have something somewhere. Yeah. So what do we have here? App constant. No. Let's search for localhost. Ah, yeah. This one. Seriously, I don't. Ah. Yeah. I'm not gonna do that, but someday I should avoid having like the same address replicated 20 times, right? So let's just hardcode localhost for now. Okay. And now what we're gonna do is here we're gonna load our signer. Yes, and here we can implement the virtues. So if I have a look here, not gonna look good, I guess, but what did he say? Yes, you see here we can implement a feature. Okay, it doesn't look good, but you know where we stand. So if we give a try here, I think that if I click this, I should already have, you see, we already have that part. I don't know if I sign out, we have the same experience, right? Like if I click Juno, then it's access your wallet, then I sign in, and I'm in, you see? And we already have that part where it's the same size and so on, and it reacts to it, and if everything is fine here, you see we have no error. So okay, maybe it doesn't, maybe it's doing nothing, but I like to think that it works and it just like no errors in the console. Alright, so we have an object, we have initialized, and so on. The disconnection, we have done that, since here we are disconnecting when the authentication change. Basically, we are listening to the authentication and disconnecting when needed. And then here we come to let's say a bit an opinionated part of the library, so that the library can be used to run it up. So if we have a look to the flow, like really in a let's just draw like really from a high level, not going too much in detail and so on, right? So if we have a client, right? Actually, that's a dapp, but yeah. Let's call it app client. And we have the wallet. So what we do in our scenario is this one open the wallet when I click, And then within the wallet, oh no, we're gonna do that like this. Here we have internet identity. So what we do is we sign in, and when the sign in is good, it comes back here, and when it comes back here, then this one tells the client I'm ready. Okay, and then the client can automate or not the process, but the next step is like requesting the accounts. But before being able to request the account, that one should request some permission. So basically here what you're gonna do, you're gonna say request permission, right? And here our wallet is using a library. It's like we have an app, we have a library, and basically all those things that are happening here is handled by the library, but the library needs to kind of also discuss with the wallet, right? So because it gets the message, and because it gets the message, you do something in the wallet, you come back, and so on and so on. So to make this happen, this library has a mechanism of prompt. I don't know if it's the best name, but we call it like that. And you register prompt. So basically what you do as a consumer, you say, I want to register a callback for this type of message, and when this type of message, you basically the library gonna run a callback, and then when the callback is done, then it moves on. It's kind of like registering a showstopper, which requires something in the wallet, right? Okay. Hope it's kind of clear. So I think we can try that. So if we go to this one, we're gonna have the permission, right? So that's the first step. So let's implement something like that. All right. So where we had the signer, where is it? I will use the same confirm permission. Let's use the same wording. Signer confirm permission. All right. And okay. And here we're gonna have the signer confirm permission, right? So I guess that here it should be right. We have confirm permission, which is nice, but in that confirm permission, if we want to do something, we need the signer, right? I mean, we cannot do anything if we don't have this one. So so what we're gonna do is in OISY Wallet, to clean up this part, I've made a context. Oh, let's call it permission. It's nice actually. But here I will keep it slim, so I just gonna pass down and up the signer. right? And I think that I don't even need to put that in the... We're gonna do that differently. Here we're not gonna pass any children, I think. And here we put the signer permission, right? And since since it's guarded above, yeah. And here inside this one, we're gonna create props. Let's see. I'm not sure if we want to have it always defined or not. So let's just put it like that for now. All right. And here we pass the signer. Nice. Okay. Then what we have to do? You see, it's the same logic, so it's nice. So what we have to do, we have to register an effect. Yeah, I think we can copy that. So that's really nice. So what it does, it's we're gonna do this one in a bit. What we're gonna do is, if we have a signer object, we want to register a callback for the request permission. That means that if a client, a dapp, communicate with the Juno wallet and ask the wallet for permission, we want this payload to start. And here I just imported some types that are exposed by the library, so nothing particular to do. But what we want to do is we want to save the payload that we get. So to do that, we're gonna define those. All right. So what do we get? We get scope, and we get permission confirmation. That's right. Okay. So what do we get? Confirm is actually a function, something like that. I think that here you just pass approve or deny. So basically what you do is when this kicks, you display something to the user with a button approve or deny, and if it approve, you click confirm approve, or you do confirm disapprove. And the scope is the list of permission that the client wants, because there are different permissions. And right now the permissions supported are asking the wallet to provide the list of accounts, and asking the wallet if the client is allowed to submit some call that should be forwarded to the IC. All right, I hope it's kind of clear until there. And now that we have those two, I think we can implement the reset, yes, which null here, which makes those two back to nothing. All right. So I I think here we can implement the request, but we're gonna do that. I think I want, when we ask the permission here, you see, okay, log out. When we ask the permission here, yeah, of course, I already have the permission, so it's not a good example. So let's do that here. In this example, when I ask for the permission, I can select a subset. Like here, I will be prompted for permission, and here you see I can select if I want just to accept the account or just the call canister. But that's more like a kind of like really test environment. If we have a look at what's my identity here, 215.36. If I really connect OISY here, maybe not, yes. So if I connect OISY here, you see, I'm not asked about selecting the permission. I'm just asked, that's the permission, do you want to approve it or not? It's kind of, it's a bit, in any case, if you accept, you're gonna need both. You know, you're gonna need the wallet address and you're gonna need to approve. So yeah, maybe we use this pattern. All right, so let's see what we do in OISY. Nice. So what we do is there is a form, and then in the form we have this, and this is the request account permission. All right, and those are the scopes. Yeah, I will do that another day, I think. So let's just take that. So we're gonna take a form, which I put here, all right? And I'm gonna put this if is important, because if we don't have a scope, we don't want to display any request. Okay, so here that's just to be a bit fancy, and here, so if we have some scopes, we have this, I don't need that, and oopla, sorry, just gonna declare that on submit. Right, and let's just list the scope, okay? And we're not gonna have, okay, as I say, let's skip that and we just display the request. So if we go back to our test, when I click Juno here, if I sign in, you see here now I have already the request for the permission. So basically this one here is asking to the wallet if we want to accept accounts and call canister. But yeah, I don't have the call to action now. So let's implement those, and here I think that's a bit better here. So here we have two buttons. We have on click reject, blah blah blah, submit. So on reject gonna be this. Oopla. I think I like this solution. Ah, plus there is a small comment. Okay, let's take this piece of code here and let's try that. So what do we have? On approve gonna be our form submit. So let's put that here and call that on approve. What? Ah, wait, yeah, of course, it's inside. Alright, and let's have a look. So when I will approve, what it's gonna do is, if there is no function to approve the message, I mean, yeah, it's possible. So we're gonna show an error, toast dot error, yes. So let's do that. So what I'm gonna do, because I don't have the error message, I will just parse this as a text, right? And we can have a look later. We don't have an error. But if the callback here has provided us a confirm, we can confirm. So what's scopes? So let's have a look what scopes. Scopes is the ICRC scope. Oh, yes, okay. And in our case, I guess the scopes is here. What do we say? Ah, scope is put. Okay, so for simplicity reason, what we're gonna do is this. Might review it. And here, what we're gonna do is, since we approve all the permission, we map over those that were requested and we say we accept those. Okay? And the confirm again is the callback that we get, so we just gonna say, okay, we approve everything, and then we reset because we go to the next step. If we ignore, again, if the confirm is not set, we're gonna throw an error. Otherwise, what we do is we confirm nothing. And here, you see there is like an explanation. Basically, what we want to do is, we don't want to reject all the permission and then next time the user comes to the wallet, they are blocked because they rejected the permission and it's over for a week. What we want to do is, basically, when the user rejects, it basically says, I reject for now, basically. And that's why it's set empty and then reset, so yeah. Alright, so I guess I use toolbar. Is it possible? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Something like that we want, huh? Okay. And so here we want on reject, and what were the call to action that we use here? Ah, no, that I have. What was it? I don't remember now. Am I asked again? No, I guess no. Huh? Yeah. So for now we do have reject. I guess no. So here we're gonna say reject, and here I don't have approve neither. So approve. Let's call it like that. So close this. Doesn't look too bad. So what we do is we click here and now, you see we have it. So we can reject or approve the request for permission. That's really great. So again, here nothing happens. We're just gonna assume that it works out. And we're gonna implement the next step. That way we will be one step further here, and that would be enough for today. So once we get the permission, so in that case here we answer it with approve or reject, right? Assuming we approve, if we approve, then the client here will request the account. Yes, and it will request the accounts because in the permission, one of the permission was, can I list the accounts? And so since we answer yes, you can list the accounts, then we do request accounts. So I guess you understand a bit now how it works. So since we want to answer the accounts, the same. We're gonna have like a prompt that is triggered. When triggered, you answer, blah blah blah. So what's it called in I'm gonna revert this. In OISY we call that signer accounts, which is nice. So let's do the same here. Signer accounts, all right. And yeah, here it's really like all the time the same stuff. So blah blah blah. Right. Yeah, like this. And here in the signer we're gonna have signer accounts, and in the accounts, so that's a good point. So yeah, sorry, I was thinking is actually, you see, if I look at that component here, I don't have anything yet. I just have a slot. If I look at the implementation in the demo here, if I go to confirm accounts, yeah, I got like a small animation, but I don't have anything particular neither. That's because in all those wallets right now we just have one account, and so the wallet answer automatically. But technically in the future, for example in OISY, if in OISY someday there is multiple accounts, maybe you will be prompted and then it will open the window, and then in the window you say, okay, you have the right to see this account and that account, but not the other account, which can be like I think an interesting use case, I hope. So let's check let's take this one. So it's the same. We have an approve, a reset, and a register. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we got the signer. We have a state that is the request. All right. When everything is fine, we reset to null, and then we say the same stuff. Is the signer does the signer exist? No, then we reset. Is the signer exist? Then we register a prompt that should answer to the accounts, and when we get prompted, we want to set the payload. And here, as I said, we just want to answer all the time. So what we do is we take this one and we register an effect. And this gonna be a bit different in our case. And this is for the animation. Yeah, maybe we can have that. I mean, it doesn't harm to have it. So I'm gonna explain in a bit. Here we had fade, right? So I'm gonna take this one here as well. And this one. So in this particular use case, the account is the same ID as the user ID, right? But that's not the case in the Juno wallet. In the Juno wallet, the ID is the mission control, is the wallet, right? So we should not answer with the identity. What we want is the mission control ID, and that's why at the top, you remember, like 30 minutes ago or something, we added this quad here for the mission control. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that one. I think it's the one I use everywhere. Is it possible? Technically, we can even, you know what, we're gonna even pass it down that way. That way we know that we have it. So let's put it here, there, but then it needs that in the signer. So that's more like a pattern thingy, that's something related to the implementation, right? So here we pass the mission control ID that we're gonna pass to this one, and then at the root level all right. So at the root level here, I think we can probably do the same things. Yes, something like that. So here, because we know it's gonna be loaded when we are here, we can add this one. It's kind of like more for TypeScript than for other thing. And here we can add mission control ID equals this one. So this one guard the mission control to be loaded. Maybe not. Right? If it's loaded, then here it's never null, it's more for TypeScript. And here we have the mission control, we pass it here, and then we pass it to the accounts, and here we know that it's defined. So here we can remove that part, which is nice, and here it accepts the text. So we can have mission control ID, which is type of principal, dot to text. Okay, and we don't have a sub account right now. So if everything goes fine, here when I connect, of course it doesn't go fine. All right, let's check that. Yeah, I had like a, because there is auto reload, it was trying to use Juno but with the OISY and blah blah blah. But you see here we already have like the response here, which is EGUQ4, Q4, and if I go in my mission control, you see, that's the one. Ah, cool. So I think that's gonna be it for today, but you see we are already like in a phase where if I close everything, like really we have like the whole flow already where, alright, so I sign in this dapp with my account, and then at some point I say, oh, I want to top up my canister here, and to top up my canister I want to use the Juno Wallet. So it opens the Juno Wallet, and here I can sign in with my account. So that's my wallet. And then you're gonna say, okay, do you want to grant the permission to that dapp to read the accounts and call canister? And you say, yes, I agree. And then it already passes the account and the balance. Yeah, all right. So that's it for today. Next week we continue with the 2 remaining part of the flow, which is displaying a consent message. So it's like the message that you show to the user in the wallet before they approve or reject the effective call, and then the effective call. So it's 2 more prompts, and we already have the Juno Wallet with the signer standard. Alright, so thanks for attending. I hope the volume was better later, and as always, ping me if there is anything, and enjoy your week. Bye bye.